Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. I'm actually really under the weather, so I don't really feel great, and I also don't look great. I'm just trying to keep myself warm. So I'm just bundled up and everything. And so that's why there's no camera. Yay. But there's still going to be a video today because there's something that's bothering me today. And that is the disparate treatment of how people are treating Ukrainian refugees from any other kind of refugee, particularly the non-white ones. On February 25th, just yesterday, it was brought to my attention that apparently thousands of Romanians have been waiting in their personal vehicles to pick up refugees at one of the northeast borders with Ukraine. I'm not often elated at news from back home, but this makes my heart swell. A similar anecdote was shared by someone talking about Ukrainians coming to Slovakia, where they say that Ukrainians coming to Slovakia get a temporary status with free healthcare and legal work possibility. For Ukrainians, public transport is free of charge. There is food and beverages at the border. And even Poland said it was ready to accept hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian refugees. So, you love to see it, right? It makes you think, oh, this is actually good stuff. But let's delve into the mask off that some of these European nations and leaders have brought up. So with regards to Poland accepting Ukrainian refugees is great news, but when just a few months ago it barricaded its borders and deployed thousands of troops to keep out refugees from Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan, leading them to freeze and starve under Belarus's trafficking, it is maddening. So fair point about that little bit of history, but we're here talking about Ukraine. Are there any people fleeing Ukraine that are, say, not being let in so easily? Unfortunately, yes. Listening to Nigerian students in Ukraine right now crying on Twitter Spaces. Some have trekked for 25 kilometers to Poland border in the freezing cold, only not to be let in. A Nigerian medical student at Poland-Ukraine border, Medika Shahini, told me she has been waiting 7 hours to cross. She says border guards are stopping black people and sending them to the back of the queue, saying they have to let Ukrainians through first. And just in case you weren't aware of how it's really just about skin color and a kind of European white racial solidarity, Bulgaria went absolutely mask off when asked about this. The Bulgarian Prime Minister was asked today about the possibility of accepting refugees from Ukraine. His reply is telling. These are not the refugees we have used to. These are people who are Europeans, so we and all other EU countries are ready to welcome them. These are intelligent people, educated people. Some of them are IT specialists, highly qualified. In other words, this is not the refugee wave we have used to, where we do not know what to do. People with obscure past, maybe terrorists. These are Europeans who just got their airport bombed, who were shot at, who were hiding in the metro. So none of the European countries is afraid from the immigrant wave that is about to come. No comment. And so yeah, that's really what this boils down to, isn't it? Because the Ukrainians are overwhelmingly white and European, people have no problem throwing open their doors to these people, whereas the same cannot be said of Iraqis, Afghans, Syrians, or anyone else who's a refugee from a predominantly non-white country. And some people very accurately point this out to people. Seeing all the people on Twitter who want to open up their homes to Ukrainian refugees makes me wonder where y'all were as troops pulled out of Afghanistan and the country collapsed. Which is also very unfortunate because here in Canada, someone on the inside of, I guess you could say, government affairs made the following revelation. I heard today that federal workers in immigration services have been told that they may soon be ordered to stop working on files for people fleeing Afghanistan to focus entirely on Ukrainian refugees. At this point, I have no words and I fear any would be read the wrong way. And it's all so unfortunate, right? Because on the surface level, helping out these innocent Ukrainians fleeing persecution and war, yeah, you know what? That's an objectively good thing. But the just ridiculously clear and stark difference between how these nations have treated Ukrainian refugees versus non-white refugees is so night and day. A refugee is a refugee, regardless of their skin color, what continent they come from, what their religion is. That does not matter. What separates us from a refugee is pure fucking luck. And unfortunately, we are seeing yet again that Europe still has a massive mountain to climb in terms of dealing with its incredibly ridiculous levels of racism. Not saying that we in Canada are perfect by any means. Case in point, y'all just saw that tweet about, oh, you know, you may have to stop working on the Afghan ones. We got thousands of white people we need to process from Eastern Europe right now. It is so mask off in the white supremacy, and I don't see nearly enough people calling this out for what it is and condemning it. Because again, at the end of the day, a refugee is a refugee. It doesn't matter what their race, religion, or creed are. They need help. And the fact that people in Eastern Europe are only willing to show it to Ukrainians because of their skin tone is absolutely infuriating. And if you can't tell, it's definitely what's bothering me today.